Okay. All right, everyone. I believe it's 5:05 already. All right. So before we begin, can we all go on our status on our different social media platforms and just say we are live at Build with AI FUTMinna so that those who have not seen it will see. Let's just go now past and say we are live. Yes. You think I don't have your number? I will shock you. All right. You can post on your status, post everywhere that we are live. All right, good. I believe that we have all done that. If you have not done it, I know all of you. All right, so good evening, everyone. I hope we are all doing well today. Welcome to Build with AI, FUTMinna. But before I continue, let me just give a brief introduction of what Build with AI is and who we are essentially. So this is GDG on campus, right? GDG on campus, that's Google Developer Group on campus. And so the campus in which we are representing right now, in which we are representing Google in, is FUTMinna. So this is Build with AI. I hope you can all hear me. Let me see some reactions. So I'll be sure it's not my network. All right. All right. That's great. That's great. Okay. So I just mentioned what GDG OC is. So can someone in the comment section just say what it is again? Just in the chat box. What GDG OC stands for. I've mentioned it too. I think I said this giveaway now. Don't make me say, all right, all right. What does GDG OC stand for? All right. Can we all put it in the comments, in the messages, so that I know that we're all active, we're all on the call? Okay. All right, that's well. So GDGOC stands for what? Google Developer Group on campus. Yes. And so it's a special event, and I'm bringing you to with what Build with AI. Build with AI in FUTMinna. So you might ask, what is Build with AI? What exactly are we even building with AI and things like that? Don't worry, calm down, calm down, calm down. This is what this whole event is all about, right? Just teaching you to use what Google technologies. Yeah, teaching you to use Google technologies to build amazing applications, amazing things. And we've brought what's called speakers, yes, from different fields, different niches, different tech backgrounds, right? Yeah. So from their wealth of wisdom, we're going to be learning. But before that, I'd like to introduce GDG lead in the person of Abraham Folorunshaw. So I don't know, can you speak, sir? Just a brief introduction.
Yeah,
Oh
hello
yes,
everyone.
please can we jam our hands together? He's the lead of Google Developer Group. He's a boss. He's a boss. Yes. Please, can I? I'm not seeing our hands. Okay. All right. All right. That's great. Okay, you can go on, sir.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. That was a joke. So, thank you everyone. My name is Abraham Folorunshaw. And as Eniola said, I'm the GDG on campus lead. So I'm really excited to have everyone here. I welcome you all to today's Build with AI virtual session. Yeah, we'll be having the physical session on Saturday. So welcome to the virtual session hosted by GDG on campus. That's Good Developer Group on campus, FUTMinna. So this Eniola has made a lot of justice. So let me just stop there. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. I wanted you to do proper introduction, sir, so that someone in the comments section say I did injustice to the hype, but no, Allah. He's a dev. I said he's a boss, right? He's a backend developer. He does a lot more, and he's also the major organizer for this event, right? All right. So thank you so much. You can enter his DM to so that he can give you gigs. Yeah, so he can give you gigs. So I believe you can all see my screen, right? And it shows what the countdown, yes, for the main event of Build with AI. So this virtual event is just a snippet of what is about to come. We are just giving you a little something something before the actual event. And no, this one too, we are giving you hot calm down. We're also giving you premium quality information as well, premium knowledge. And yeah, so before we go on, right, before we go on what's we are, so because it's going to be an interactive session, right, I want us to put our names like on the comments, what's it called, section. Just said that I'm ready for Build with AI. Yes, I'm ready for Build with AI. Just in the message box in the comment section, just type in I am ready for Build with AI, because I'm telling you, you guys are not ready. If you know what we have in store for you, you will know that it's not small. Just that I'm ready
Definitely.
to Build with AI. All right. All right, that's great. That's great. That's great. All right, I'm ready for Build AI. So before I continue, right, I mentioned that this is just a snippet. The main event is coming up on Saturday, in which you can see the countdown on the screen right now. So the main event is going to be on Saturday with even more speakers, and we hope you've signed up for all the events, and we hope you're present. If you know any of your friend or roommates that is not on this call or would not be present physically, drag them. Okay, drag them. But before, okay, I'm seeing I'm ready for Build with AI. Yeah. That's great. That's great. Okay, that's great. Olamide. All right, so I'd like to introduce some of the speakers to us, right? Yes. Let me just introduce some of the speakers to us. So um I also want to send the link to the website so that they can someone in like the core team, right, to just send the link to the website so that they can all follow me. But I'll show my screen in that ways. So this is the main website, right, for Build with AI. And if you've not registered, or if you know a friend of yours, right, has not registered, please just send them this link, right, so that they can register. Someone sent the link to the yes, so they can register. I'm just going to show you the yes. So these are the amazing speakers, right, that we're having today. I'm not going to speak too much about our virtual speaker just yet because he's a special person, right? But these are the sets of speakers that we'll be having. We are packing devs and engineers from different fields here to tutor and teach you on Google technologies and how you can actually build with AI. Some of us can say, oh, I don't know how to code. Calm down. You don't need to know, you don't need to hard code anything sometimes, right? So we are bringing that to you. And these are the list of the speakers that we have, right? And this is where the main events will be. Right now, we're in the virtual events, right? And the main events would be at NITSA IT Hub. The main event would be at NITSA IT Hub, right? So, and that'd be 9 o'clock. Yes. All right. Um, okay. Please and please, if you've not generated your DP, please do and send it to, you can just click this link, right, to generate your DP, just to say that, oh, you put your picture here, put your name here, and say that what I'll be attending, right? I'll be attending. Just put your name, your picture, and then when you're done, just download it and you're good to go. You're good to go. So Yeah. So I think I've done justice to that. So let me stop sharing my screen so that I can introduce our speaker for today. Yes. Sharing. And then share window. All right. Okay, can we all see my screen? I want to believe you can hear me. Can we all see my screen? Okay. All right. So I want to give a brief introduction of who our speaker will be for tonight's session. He is one-time student of Federal University of Technology, Minna. He's a graduate, a first-class graduate of the Department of Computer Engineering. Yes. Please, if you're in engineering, like faculty or department, I like to see your hands or like an emoji or something. Yeah. So he is a mobile app developer at CMR Golden Living. He is also a winner of ITU's AI for Good hackathon, in which he traveled to India to participate in an hackathon. While he was a graduate, I don't know how many of you have traveled outside. I don't know how many people have traveled outside before, but he did so as an undergraduate and is here to dispense some knowledge with us, right? So I mentioned that he's a mobile app developer from CMR Golden Living. And the topic we'll be taking us today is from idea to app, rapid prototyping with Gemini in AI Studio. I'm telling you guys are not ready for this. You guys are not ready for this. I hope you guys are as hyped as I am, right? So without further ado, right, can we please welcome Mr. Frank Ebeledikes? Please, somebody should call him engineer. Please add engineer to the name. So can I see hands? All right. Uh,
Um, okay, good evening, everyone. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can.
Okay, okay. I don't know if my voice is really clear, but just let me know, right? Just let me know if in case this network actually okay, loud and clear. All right then, thank you so much. So let me just share my slides, then I can start, right? Yeah. Um, I think I should share this. Let me just share my entire screen, which is dangerous. All right. So can you see me clearly? Share my entire screen.
Yes, yes. We can see you. We can see the screen rather.
Okay.
Or at least we were.
Okay, I'm coming. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this stuff. Okay. All right. So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. You can.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, all right then. So thank you very much, Eniola. You really did. That was a um wonderful introduction, per se. Right. So hello everyone. Good evening once again. My name is Frank Ebeledike. And before I start, I want to thank the Google Developer Group on campus, Federal University of Technology, for giving me this opportunity to actually speak with you guys. I see it as a great opportunity for us to learn and develop and build products together, right, using AI capabilities, right? So, so what's it about me? Eniola has done a just a and he has done like a good work on that, and I won't necessarily want to say much, but basically I would say I'm into mobile app development, I'm into artificial intelligence. I also do AI research as regards autonomous networks and native networks, and then I'm also interested in everything that has to do with software engineering and building software systems, right? So that's it about me. But today we're not necessarily here to talk about me, we're here to talk about you, right? And what you can learn and what you can take out of this meeting, right? So who are you exactly, right? So this is my picture about you. Most of you are students. Most of you are about devs, like pro level developers, right? So maybe you're a student, or maybe you're an individual, right? And you have come here basically to learn and to actually see some of the possibilities that AI actually have, or you're just new into tech basically, right? And you just want to maybe build your first intelligent app. I would say you're actually in the right place. Or maybe you're like a pro developer, and you want to like see how you can leverage the capabilities of AI to see how you can make your workflow very, very efficient, right? Even up to this day, we have businesses, we have industries investing in developers just to see that they can automate their workflows and see how they can be more productive. So maybe you're one of those, or you're an AI enthusiast. You just want to see how you can take advantage of Google AI Studio and leverage Google's um, different models, right? You're also in the right place, right? So now here's the big idea, right? Now I just want to confirm, can you hear me clearly?
Yes,
We can't,
Can
sir.
you hear me clearly?
yes, we
Okay, all
can.
right. I may be doing that. Okay, so I may be doing that intermittently because I don't really trust these are network over here, right? So the thing now is, what exactly is the big idea? This is the big idea, and this is the question, right? That I guess most of you must have asked when you saw the flyer, right? What if it's possible that we can be able to like build applications incredibly fast? In my current industry, right? Before we can like release like a feature, it has to take maybe 2 3 days basically for it to like um be built and then be sent to the app store and the play store, right? So what if we could build applications really, really fast? What if I have like this mind-blowing idea I want to like share with an investor, and then maybe I don't even know how to program? Then I have to go and start looking for developers, and it takes time. I have to start bargaining with them. They have to start building, and before then, my idea comes to life. And maybe before my idea even comes to life, there have been like a disruption, and my idea is not so. Yeah, you get. I have to tweak it again to make it fit, right? So what if we could build applications, right, incredibly fast, right? So while holding that in mind, I want you to, I want us to answer the why of why we're actually here, right? So why are we actually here? Why do we want to build applications with artificial intelligence? The thing is that AI is um, okay. The one of the major reasons is that it's very fast, right? So we can build applications like very fast using AI. So recently AI, Google has published like different models that gives us the capability to be able to build applications, and this is like very fast. And when we go into the demo and you see how we start building some of these applications that, in fact, I'm sure some of you would like say, wow, this should be like a startup idea. You could take it up as a startup idea, right? But you see how we're able to like raise up a product that could be like a startup idea in less than 10 minutes, right? So it's very fast. Another thing is that it's very cheap, right? I don't have to spend time. I also don't have to spend resources. I just need an internet connection laptop, and then I can be able to like prototype applications, right, using Google AI Studio and a lot of like Gemini models, right? Then the third one, which I feel is the most important if you are like a beginner or even if you are like a pro developer, is that it lowers the steep learning curve for building applications, right? So just like I said earlier on, some of you are beginners, some of you are pro level developers, and maybe some of you have found interest in like building maybe web applications or mobile applications, right? And you want to just maybe venture into that or build something, right? Using AI to build these applications lowers the learning curve. So you don't necessarily have to learn the way that some of us actually learn, right? I would say we actually took a lot of time, right? Understanding like native Android application, understanding like native iOS application before we now started like building applications. You understand, right? So it was a steep learning curve for us. But with AI now in Vogue, you can be able to like build applications, right? Very, very fast. And you can be able to learn how to build them very, very fast. Sorry. And then I also want to show you this mental model, right? I saw this and I felt it's very, very important for you to actually know something like this so that you know how you can take advantage of what we're going to be doing today, you know, where it's actually beneficial for you, right? So I saw this, it's from it's Bloom's taxonomy, and he gave us like the 5 stages of 5 levels of learning, right? 5 levels of learning. So like a developer now may say, okay, I want to start building application, right? According to Bloom's taxonomy, it's that the person actually starts from this level and then he walks his way from a lower order up to a higher order, right? And I can tell you that this way of learning, moving from the lower order to the higher order, it takes time, right? Just like I mentioned earlier on, it takes time. Starting up by trying to remember what's actually going on, trying to remember some of the like the keywords and things in maybe whatever technology you are learning. Before then you move on to like this level where you are creating, it actually takes time. So to cut the long story short, what was the first stage? He says the first stage is actually to remember. And in this stage, what you are just doing is that you're trying to learn words, you're trying to learn keywords, you're trying to learn facts, right? So if you are into like mobile app development, you may want to learn something like what's a service, right? What's a background task, right? Was an async method or something like that. Maybe if you're into cloud computing, you may want to learn something like, okay, what's an EC2? Was an S3 bucket, right? And so on and so forth, right? So here you're just basically learning words, right? Then you move on to the next stage, which is understand. So in this stage, you're trying to connect those words. You're trying to make meaning out of those words, right? So you're trying to draw pattern between these words, like what's the relationship between an S3 bucket and then maybe an EC2, right? Or a compute, right? So maybe if you're into AI, you're trying to say, okay, what's the relationship between maybe supervised learning and unsupervised learning, right? So you're trying to draw patterns between like separate words in that particular field, right? Then you move on to the next stage, which is apply. So in this stage, you are learning to see how people are applying solutions. You have not started applying yet, but you are learning to see how people use solutions. So for instance, if you are maybe somebody that has ventured into something like data structures and algorithms, they must have taught you like sorting algorithms, like searching algorithms, and then you are seeing how, okay, how does the bubble sort actually looks like? How does social searching algorithm actually looks like? Those algorithms have been applied already, but you are learning how its implementation came about, and you're trying to get that mental model right into your system, right? Then you move on to the next stage, which is to evaluate. Here you are seeing different solutions and you are trying to say, okay, for this use case, this solution is the best. For this use case, this solution is the best. So you are given two solutions and you can judge and say, okay, if I'm in so-so scenario, I should use so-so use case. And if I'm in so-so scenario, I should use so-so use case. Then we get to the last stage, which is to create, right? This is where a lot of people are. I would say this is where you find experts. And in this place, you are producing original work. So you can take all of what you know, and then you can be able to like build something. You can create something that is absolutely new, right? Now, this is the stage that I wish each and every one of us are, right, as regards maybe whatever it is that you want to learn, right? But many a times I'll tell you that starting to learn actually starts from here, right? And it takes time to get to this point, right? But with artificial intelligence, we can be able to climb the ladder very quickly, very quickly. With AI, we can be able to not necessarily learn every single thing as regards that particular field. Is that whenever we find like there's a gap in our knowledge, we can just ask AI, and AI gives us information, and then we take it in and we are good to go, right? So this is where I want each and every one of us to be at the end of this session, where we are creating, not necessarily understanding, or should I say, connecting dots between different words. So as we continue, I'll be mentioning. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear
Yes,
me?
we can. Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay. So not necessarily knowing just words, or just knowing, okay, I know what generative AI is, I know what this is, that, right? We want to get to that point where you are creating applications, where you are creating problems, right? It's at this level that money is being made, right? It's at this level that problems are being solved. It's at this level that you are offering solutions, right, to people. It's at this level that you are making the world a better place, right? So now let's move on so that we can see how we can take advantage of this, right? So how all these things, should I say, the center of how, should I say, how we got to this point where we can be able to create, where we can be able to build application, the base level or the foundation of it is what we refer to as generative AI, right? And maybe this is not the first time you are hearing something like this. This may be the first time for you, right? There's no problem. We'll actually discuss that. Now, what's generative AI? Now, generative AI is just artificial intelligence that creates new content. So this AI is kind of like different from like the traditional AI we had. I still remember back then when I was learning artificial intelligence, you see something like there is supervised learning, there is unsupervised learning. Then you have AI that are sorry, you have AI algorithms that are responsible for classification. Then you have AI algorithms that are responsible for prediction, right? In generative AI, it's different. In generative AI, you have AI algorithms that are responsible for producing new content. So this new content could be text, this new content could be images, it could be audio, right? It could be you have AI generating documents, right? And so on and so forth, right? And this generative AI is basically based on like deep learning, right? So I don't necessarily want to go there because it's going to be like very, very technical. So moving on to generative AI, one of the components of generative AI is actually LLM. And LLM stands for large language model. And basically how this works is it works based on like the algorithm behind it is actually what we call transformers, right? Transformers. But let's just leave that. Just know that an LLM, right, takes in what we call chunks of data. So for instance, just like I am talking to you now, and you can hear my words, right? That's basically what you are taking in and you are processing, right? So an LLM takes in chunks of data. So when we give it something like, hello, how are you doing? It does not necessarily take in the hello, how are you doing, right? It takes in numerical representations of those chunks, bit by bit, right? And then one thing with LLM is that it's able to generate new content. And the way it does that is by what this picture is actually representing here. So first off, we may give the LLM something like, it's raining cats, and then we are waiting for the LLM basically to tell us what is the next word, right, before this particular and the LLM goes and search through its corpus of data and is able to say, okay, based on what I've analyzed from this, I can say that the closest word that should follow suit is dogs. So you can see over here we have numbers. All of these numbers represent the confidence score of its prediction. So it says, okay, I feel that dog has a higher chance of fitting into this window of words, right? And then it says, okay, then it selects the one with the highest confidence score. In this case, it selects dog. Then it takes that whole chunk again, which is it's raining cat and dog, and then tries to make the prediction again for the next word. So it does this over and over and over, and you see it generating up to like from words, it generates sentences. Sentences leads to more sentences that leads to paragraphs, and you have like a document, right? And it can go on and on doing that particular thing, right? Now moving on to something like this. So if we give the LLM something like roses are red, the LLM then does the same thing that it did over here, and then it's able to predict that violets are blue and then sugar is sweet, right? So it doesn't just work with text alone, right? It doesn't just work with text alone. We could give it something like code. So if we tell the LLM for var equals to 0, looking at this, you know that it's like it's trying to iterate. This is like if a statement that is trying to iterate, and you see the LLM completing the remaining part of the statement, right? So you can see that it gets really, really interesting. We have AI now that is able to look at the existing words and is able to make predictions and keep adding these predictions, these predicted words to its window and as a context, and it's able to keep making more predictions, right? Now, the downside of this is that modern LLMs are very, very large, right? And you would agree with me that that's basically how it is, right? Because LLMs get better when you stuff them up with more data. So I'm sure if you like, as we continue to go on, you see, I'll show you some examples of like Gemini models. Some you see they're like 1 billion parameters, some are like 8 billion parameters, some are like 27 billion parameters, right? So the larger the LLM, the parameters are, the more the LLM is able to like reason, the more the LLM is able to like, it has like more knowledge, let me put it that way. It's going to be hard for such kind of LLM to hallucinate, right? But let's leave that, right? One thing you should know is that LLMs are very, very large. But the beautiful thing about it is that LLMs allows us to prototype like very fast, right? And I will not necessarily want to dwell here, right? So let's move on. Let's get started with the Gemini API. So when you hear Gemini, just know that Gemini is the large language model owned by Google. And there are different, should I say, variations of it. There are different types, and you can access all of these models in Google AI Studio, right? So moving on to Google AI Studio, over here we get to see like a basic interface of it, right? And the first thing you want to do if you are coming on to Google AI Studio is to get your API key, right? I'll be showing you how to do that, right? And I'll be showing you how to get your own API key. Without an API key, you would not be able to use the platform, right? You will not be able to make use of any of Google's model, right? And the interface for Google AI Studio is like very easy. So just looking at it, you can be able to tell that, okay, I just need to click this and then I'll get my API key, right? And then if you want to access Google AI Studio, this is the URL that you can use to be able to access that, right? So once you've gotten your API key, you can select, like over here, we get to see different, should I say, different versions of Gemini. So there is Gemini Pro Vision, right? Majorly for analyzing like images and so on and so forth. There's Gemini Flash, right? And so on and so forth, right? Then moving on as well, once we have like built and configured our model in Google AI Studio, we have this ability to like export all our configurations as code, right? This is like very, very important if in case like you want to maybe create a custom applications outside of Google AI Studio, right? Very, very important. So you can extract your, okay, so over here we get to see that we can extract as call, we can extract as JavaScript, we can extract as Python, we can extract for Android Kotlin, very amazing, for Swift as well. And then we can open this in Colab and even run it as well, right? And then these are some of like the platforms that Google AI Studio actually supports. So we can extract whatever we've built in Python, we can extract for Node.js, we can extract for Swift, and then we can extract for Java, right? So let me just show you a bit of how the Google AI Studio looks like. So if you can see my screen, just let me know. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay, okay. All right then. So all right then. So this is Google AI Studio, a very intuitive platform. And over here you just get to see this is where we can get our API key, right? So so let me just come over here. Once you click on this, it takes you to the dashboard, so you can either move from studio to dashboard, like very easy. Then to get your API key, you just need to come over here and then look up, sorry, to get API key, you just need to click here and then you get a new API key. So me, I have mine already, right? And we'll be making use of mine basically. But for you to create an API key, you need like a Google Cloud project already. So if you are just maybe you are creating this with like a new email address that is not connected to like any Google Cloud project, it will definitely like prompt you to like create one, right? So let me click on this and I just hope my network is not okay. So I already have one already. So just click on this and then you can select like a Google Cloud project that you have and just select that. And then once you click on lookup API key, basically this would be different for you, right? If like this is like a new interface, but for me, I have like an API key here already, and I don't want to delete this basically, but it's very easy to just select like a project from here. Maybe let me just look for something like maybe this, and then just click on look up API key for project, and it's going to like create an API key for you, right? Then once you go over to AI Studio is like loaded with a lot of functionalities, right? Every single thing that you need as regards prototyping applications with AI Studio actually has that. So if you are creating like an application that just has to do with like chatting, maybe for an e-commerce organization whereby they want to be able to receive customer queries and they want that these queries be responded to on time. So they want to like connect like an AI system that understands all their data and or every maybe solution to the user's query, something like that. So the user comes to the application, chats with this AI system, and is able to get response as regards maybe his or her issue, right? So if you want to do something like that, Google AI Studio provides like a chat prompt. So over here, you get to provide the system instructions. So system instructions allows you to confine your AI model, right? So just like I told you that LLMs are large, they've been trained with a lot of things that may not necessarily be beneficial to you, you get. So the way you can confine them around, let me say, your scope of interest, right? So if you are focused on maybe food delivery, you can confine the AI knowledge to everything food delivery. You can confine the AI knowledge to everything maybe health or something else, right? So the way you're able to do that is to use like your system instructions over here. And once you're done with that, you can like extract the code, just like I made mention, right? In addition to that, AI models actually have this thing call we call top P, right? These are very, very important parameters when it comes to like configuring your AI model. So the temperature is just simply how random do you want it to actually pick those words? So if you remember when I was showing you it rained cats and so how random do you want it to choose between maybe dogs and rain and every other options that it listed there, right? So if you increase the temperature, then the AI model would just be like flickering, should I say flickering through words, right? So it's creative per se, right? But when you lower the value of the temperature, then you are telling the AI model that it should pick the word that has the highest confidence score, right? So there's no need for creativity. It's like, this is it, and then we go for it, right? Then there's still other configurations that you can make from here, like the media resolution. Do you want the model to think, and so on and so forth? And then you can set like the top P. So the more there is a top P, the more you have different options of words to choose from. The lesser there is a top P, the more you have lesser number of words to choose from, right? So if you modify this, you get to see that your AI is responding in some manner or the other, right? So for chat prompt over here, we get to see these are the AI models that we have. So we have Gemini 2.5 Pro, the Gemini 2.5 Flash, and you can see some of their details as well as their pricing, right? The pricing is very important, like very, very important when you want to start like deploying your applications, and you know that your applications is going to be like receiving maybe 1 million your AI endpoint to be receiving like 1 million hits per day, right? So you want to take note of like this price, and yeah, you want to take note of it basically. Then apart from Gemini 2.5 Flash, there is 2.5 Flash Lite, right? So that's it for Gemini model as regards chat prompts. Then we have Gemini 2.0, all of this. We have Gamma models. So you get to see, now look at this. We have Gamma 3, which has 27 billion parameters. We have Gamma 3, which has 1 billion parameters. So you see that this one is able to generate more reasonable response compared to something like this, right? So this model that are lightweight has the potential of this thing we call hallucination. Then we have order, which is this. You can choose any of this, but basically we always want to use the latest model that Gemini, that BwAI Studio actually provides for us, which is Gemini 2.5 Pro. So aside just chat prompts, right? AI Studio has this stream. So coming. So AI Studio has stream. So this gives us the ability to like speak with the model, right? So you can have like a live chat with the model. So if you use Gemini on your mobile device, I use Gemini on my mobile device like a lot, right? So many a times you can just turn on the live feature, and you can just be talking, and the AI can take your speech, convert it to text, to understand what you are saying, and even respond to you back in speech, right? It feels like very natural, like very natural. So we can take advantage of this, the features that Gemini Live actually provides for us in our application, which we will be using basically. Then we also have AI Studio gives us the opportunity to also generate, to also create like media content. So there are models here that allows us to create media content. So here we have Imagine, which is like the latest image generation model that AI Studio offers to us. Then we have Gemini Speech, also allows us to generate like high quality text to speech with Gemini. Then we have Lyria. We also have View, which is for like video creation, right? Yeah, I haven't really tried this basically. Right? I haven't really tried this. Then we have Gemini image generation. I think this is their native image generation model, right? So you can leverage Imagine, or you can leverage their native image generation model, right? So then finally, we have the most important one, which we'll be using today, which is like the should I say the interface that gives us the ability to build applications, right? So before we start using this, because I know a lot of you are really, really interested to see how we'll start making use of this, let's go back to our slides and then complete something. All right, so can you hear me? Let me just get a confirmation. So can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. Now, like I told you earlier on, right? These AI systems are intelligent. They have the ability to generate new content. And if you've used ChatGPT before, in fact, when it came out, it was like mind blowing. How is it I can ask this thing, something like this, and it's able to like provide me with such a good response, right? And over the years, such models has been improving. They've been a lot of updates, should I say, being made on these models, and they're getting better day in and day out, right? But then, in as much as those models are very intelligent and they can be able to like provide intelligent response, right? They will not provide intelligent response to you if you don't necessarily know how to tell them how to do it, right? If you don't necessarily prompt them the right way, right? And that leads us to like this topic, which we call the art of prompt engineering. Now, this prompt, I'm sure you must have seen on some people's job description or something like that, or some job post. You say, oh, we're looking for a prompt engineer, right? This was like a new job that came up when the generative AI thing sprung up as well, right? And think of this prompt engineering as a way of like guiding the AI. So AI is very intelligent. It knows a lot of things. Somebody gave this idea. Just imagine like you have the most intelligent person in this world in your base, in your, what they call it, in your room, right, with you, and you're able to like talk with him, chat with him, and he's able to like give responses to you, right? So basically, that's what prompt engineering is all about, guiding the AI systems to be able to like give real responses, right? So now, I want you to take note of this, right? Though AIs are very intelligent, but then remember this quote from George Fisher. He says, garbage in, garbage out. So if you give an AI system not so good a prompt, it will give you not so good a response, right? So I have like an idea. My responsibility is to see how can I be able to take this idea into words, and then I can give these words to the AI system, and the AI system takes in these words and is able to generate like an application for me. If you do not prompt the AI system very well, if you do not tell it the instructions or every details that it needs to do, you will tend to see that it's building or creating something that you are looking at and you're like, this is not necessarily what I have in mind. You get, right? So just know that garbage in, garbage out. This is like a popular quote as regards as relates to computer science, right? So now let's talk about like some of the key prompting principles, because these are very important, right? These are very, very important when it comes to like building applications with AI. I've been in situations whereby I told the AI do something like this, and it was doing something the other way around. And I realized that, oh wow, it was actually that I wasn't prompting it so well, right? So the first rule of prompting is that you must be clear and specific, right? Now I see some persons, or not necessarily I see some persons, when we started using LLMs, using ChatGPT back then, anytime I was chatting with ChatGPT, I would always say something like, please, can you be able to do something? Please, can you do this? May you, what do you think? And so on and so forth. And some of these buzzwords that are not necessarily important, the AI system doesn't really care, right, about this. So adding all of these irrelevant words, right, the AI system is still processing it, trying to extract meaningful thing out of it. And in those heap of words that you've sent to it, only a few things make sense for it to be able to generate something, right? So the first rule is what? Be clear and specific. When you want to create something using LLMs, you have to be very specific. I want you to do it. Don't imagine LLMs to be like your friend that you always say please, or you always say, oh, I'm sorry, no, do it the other way. If you want to get something done, just tell it, I want you to do it like this. No need to add up extra words. They are not necessarily important, right? Then the next one is to provide context. When it comes to like prompting like AI systems, it's not necessarily how effective your prompt is, but it's majorly how detailed your prompts are. So don't ever think that giving it lots and lots of like information as regards what you want to do is not important, right? Always have this mindset that, okay, I need to give this AI system lots of information so that it understands what exactly it is I want to build, right? What exactly it is I want to build. So always ensure that you provide as much information as possible. This helps to build the boundaries of where, okay, does the AI system have to think towards this area? Do I have to think towards this area, right? So just let's assume that, okay, you're creating like a food delivery, right? Some of the information that you may provide it is, you can be specific that, okay, this is the color I want, this is the theme I want to use, right? This is how the flow of the application is going to be like. I don't want you to go outside of this boundary. This is my audience. So these are the users basically. right? I want that there should be an authentication screen before the user can make use of any of our features, right? So you can tell the AI all of these things to provide enough context for it to be able to like generate the application that you want to build, right? Then the next thing is for you to tell it the format of input as well as the format of output that you want, right? So don't just come and say, okay, I want an application that maybe takes in documents, right? And that maybe processes this document and is able to like use this document as a medium to like chat with someone, right? So this is good, but it's not so good, right? So you can be specific by telling it, okay, I want the users to be able to upload this document. You can specify by telling it, okay, what kind of document? Is it maybe a text file? Is it going to be like in PDF form? Is it going to be like Microsoft Docs? Is it even going to be like video files, right? You can tell it all of this information so that it knows how it's going to come about designing the application and what features it's actually going to add up to your to the application, right? Then finally, the last one is to iterate, right? Nobody on this planet actually gets it the first time. So once you've prompted the AI model with enough information, if you see that it's going off boundaries, or if you see that it's not necessarily giving you what you want, all you just have to do is iterate. And there's a way we iterate when it comes to building applications with AI, right? It's not like how you chat on maybe ChatGPT, right? If you do it that way, you tend to see that the AI system will mess up the application as you keep trying to iterate, right? So there's an instruction we always give it whenever we want it to like modify the code again, right? So always iterate. If you see that you tried the first time, it didn't give you what you want, try the second time again. If that still doesn't give you what you want, you can always try the fourth and fifth until finally you get a perfect looking application that fits the idea that you have in mind, right? So now let's move on to a demo, right? So if you are excited concerning the demo, I just want to let me get a response from you, even as we are in the chat window. All right. All right. All right. So that's amazing. All right. So that's amazing. So now let me share. Okay. So just like I made mention of, let me just go over this one more time. Just like I made mention of, with this chat prompt feature, you can be able to build chatting applications that can be integrated into e-commerce applications, health applications, right? So over here, a company can say, okay, we have like a lot of users coming in, a lot of users query coming in, and we want to see how we can use AI to respond to these users' queries. We don't have enough customer care personnel on ground. So all you just have to do is come over to this chat prompt and you create like it gives you like the APIs basically that you would need to actually create an application like that. Then we have this, right? So if in case you are creating if in case you are creating something similar to the Gemini application, something similar to Gemini application you have on your phone, then you would make use of Gemini Lab. Creating an application that has to do with generating media, generating maybe videos or audios, or maybe or images basically, right? You can use any of these features that this provide. Then this is the main guy over here, which is like, we're going to be building applications that you can take and like deploy them and you are good to go. In fact, after this, the first thing when I first saw this, the first thing I did was to just try out and say, okay, let me try to build my own portfolio out of this, right? And then let me see how that goes, right? So, so that's by the way. So when it comes to building applications with Gemini, over here, all you just have to do is you can just type in whatever it is that you want to build, and then you can just click on the send button and it's going to like create the application for you, right? And then while doing so, do not forget the all the techniques I taught you in like prompt engineering, Very important. And I'm going to show you some examples where we made use of something like that. So if you do not want to use it, do it this way, where you are like the first person that is creating something like that. You can take advantage of some of like the projects that are here. So there are some projects that they are showcasing, right? So if you look at this is BwAI gallery, and what it does is exploit dynamic gallery, dive into examples, and remix video prompt to generate your own unique variations. So over here, it gives you you get to, you basically tell it, maybe give it text, right, and it generates like videos for you. So see some of the things it's making use of. BwAI, it's making use of audio to video generation. We can take advantage of Gemini OS. So this is quite and every time you click on it, it like generates a different UI for you. That's wonderful, right? So you see some examples that we can take advantage of over here, like see video to learning app, right? So you can take advantage of some of this. Just check out some of the features that it uses. If it's related to right, compared to like building your own, though I would say it's very possible, right? Then one thing again I would like to mention is that when it comes to like building applications with Gemini, if you prompt the app, the AI, just like we're going to when you prompt it, like you see from some of the apps that I have been practicing with, right? I've been using. When you prompt it and it generates something that is off key, if you try to prompt it to correct it, you tend to see that it's basically messing up. You understand? So once you prompt it the first time and it generates something that is off key, just delete it and then try to modify your prompt and then prompt it again, right? So over here, I have created some example prompts that we could use. So over here, I've created like some example prompts, and these applications I want us to use are based. My focus was actually on students, right? Because some of these applications, once you build them and you deploy them, your fellow students can make use of them, right? So over here, I want to build like a web application. This is the name I called it. You can call it anything that helps students learn by selecting a topic and then difficulty level, receiving AI-driven lessons, answering follow-up questions, and adapting difficulty based on performance. So many a times, I think this is something that I think it's still on research when it comes to like personalized learning. And I think there are a lot of research looking into how we can use AI systems to be able to personalize learning for like different individuals. These individuals could be maybe people that are visually impaired, they cannot hear properly, or one thing or the other, right? So we're seeing how we can use AI to personalize their own specific learning. So we're trying to do something similar here in this application. In this application, the user just comes, says, okay, I want to learn programming. Then he selects his level of difficulty, and then he clicks on start. And then the thing starts teaching him as well as asking him follow-up questions. If he fails to answer some of the question, the AI system will reduce the difficulty level. If he continues to get the question correctly, the AI system would increase the difficulty level, right? So if you look at over here, I gave it, this is like an overview of what I wanted to build, right? And then over here, you are seeing me adding more details. So I'm giving it more details. User should select the topic. I'm giving it some example topics, right? I'm also telling it, this is what I want for the difficulty level. I'm also telling it like the flow of how the application should be, right? And then one most important thing in this my prompt is I'm providing an example of how this is going to how the flow it's going to be like. So I say, for example, the user selects Python programming and beginner level. The app generates like a lesson, for example, Python variables with 3 knowledge key points, right? And then you can see I'm generating like a question. What is the correct way to declare a variable? And then there's this, and then the user selects this. If it's correct, the app proceeds to the next point at the same difficulty. If the user answers incorrectly on the next question, the app adjusts to simpler content. To tell this model is that tell it that it should not generate, it should not use fake information, right? Sometimes AI systems, when they do not know what to do, they just start hallucinating. And in this hallucination, what they are just doing is that they are bringing out content that they, should I say, they basically don't know what to do. But the thing is that they have been programmed to do something, or they have been programmed to say something. So they are just saying things and making it look like it's real, but it's basically not true, right? So over here, we're placing that constraint that don't use fake data. So don't just try to generate data anyhow. If you want to get data, try to search it up maybe online or something like that, right? So let's run this prompt and then let's see what it generates for us. So over here, the AI system is planning the app structure. There are a lot of things it's going to be thinking of. It's going to be thinking basically, right? And you can follow up on what it's doing, right? So as it continues to process, it's going to be generating files over here for us. So over here, you can see this is our first file, the TypeScript, and then we have our metadata .json over here. And as it keeps running, it's going to be generating files for us. And then once that's done, we can view our application over here. So we get to view our application over here, and then we are going to make use of that. And then the beautiful thing about it is that once it's done, you can take the source code and then you can host it on maybe your server, maybe Vercel, Render, any of this, and you can make it live, and users are making use of your application, maybe just with a little bit of tweaking, connected to a payment gateway, and people are paying to basically use your application, right? So so I am basically talking because I am waiting for the AI model to finish generating our application. Yeah. So at this point, I want to ask if there's any question while we are waiting for the model to, the AI to basically generate this app for us. Okay. Any question, Eniola, Abraham?
Can you please drop a sample of the prompt you use? Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let me copy that. And I want to believe that while you are watching, you are also following along. Where's my chat? Yep, so that's it. All right. All right, this is good.
Thank
So
you.
can we all see my screen? Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much. Can we all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right. So over here, you can see that we just prompted it and it's done with all the process, generated all these files. And over here, it's more of like we get to see like to a server and they're up and running. Then we get to see like all the code that I generated for each of these files, right? And we can make changes to this and then it's going to reflect here. But many a times I don't make changes to this, right? You just take it up as it is, and the AI is very good at actually I'll prompt it again to make some corrections, and then you see how I'm actually doing something like that. So over here, this is our application. Let me make it much more larger. So this is our application, AI study body. Just look at this, like, isn't this like very interesting? If I look at the colors, it's very natural, right? I don't see any distortion in colors. The color Shakespeare. I don't know. It's been a long time since I read any Shakespeare book. So let me just go back and choose Python programming since we are mostly programmers. And then I'm going to choose advanced because I have a lot of bosses in this call. So let me just start the lesson and then let's see what it generates for us. And then look at the loading icon it generated, like very beautiful, right? So now this is it. Okay. So it says Python descriptors at an advanced blah blah blah. And then it says check your understanding. So called when the attribute is deleted, when okay. I don't really know what this thing is. I don't really know what it's saying here. And I don't want to read it. So let's just see. What's the primary purpose of Python descriptor? I'm just going to choose any of this and then I'll submit my answer. And we get to see that it says, and then it gives like a small description of what exactly it is. So it says descriptors are a powerful feature in Python that allows you to customize how attributes are retrieved, right? So let's click on next. And seeing now that I have attempted this and I have failed it, I expect it to like bring down the difficulty level, right? But I don't know maybe how many failures that we have to go through before it brings down the difficulty level. So we can see that, oh, wow, it just did. So before it was advanced, but I just failed the previous question and it brought it down to intermediate, right? So these are some of the things you'll be checking in the application to be sure that the AI actually followed your instruction, right? And if I look at this UI, if I do not like how maybe this check your understanding, if I don't like this check your understanding stuff, I can maybe prompt it to tell it that, okay, modify this. If I do not like how this is actually represented, right, I can prompt it and tell it that, okay, I don't like how you represented this, make it more well looking, right? So we say in Python, what are the primary purposes of using the property function? I'll just choose anyone and then we'll submit. And then it gives me that, okay, this is wrong, this is right. And then interestingly, from advanced, it has taken me to a beginner level. That's interesting, really interesting. The last question. So let's see. Oh wow, it has taken me to a beginner level. Interesting. And then so on and so forth. What might be to control how the data, blah blah blah, choose anyone. And interesting. Right. So this is like a basic application that we just built. Just notice how we built this in less than 10 minutes, right? Originally, this would take us like maybe a day to complete, right? A day to complete to like set up all this team, all these the widgets and so on and so forth, right? But see how we're able to build something like this, right? So we can save this application, we can download it, we can upload it to like application to learn Python programming or learn biology or something like that, right? So at this point, I don't know if there's any question before we move on to our second application.
Okay, please, if anybody has any question, please, you can say it now or write it down. Okay, I think somebody has question. Okay, I think we have a question from the comment section from D. Francis. He said, wow. Does this mean there is no need for a backend or cybersecurity panel?
Okay, what's the question? Can you
Yeah, can you hear me? Sorry, please, can we all hear me? I hope it's not my network. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. So the question is, does this mean there is no need for a backend or cybersecurity personnel, especially for security purposes? I don't know, Frank, can you hear me? Oh, okay. Okay, I want to be sure it's not me and it's Frank. Can somebody please clarify that it's not me? Okay, okay, okay.
It's not you. I can hear you.
All right, all right. So I think maybe I'll just let me see this. Okay, so I think I'll just answer the question, right? So I think the person said, I don't know, let me message Frank so that he can rejoin. Okay. All right. Please, okay. All right, Frank, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
Oh, no
So
problem.
sorry about that.
So someone has a question or
Yes, I can hear
multiple
you.
questions.
What's the question?
Okay, so he said, does this mean there is no need for a backend or cybersecurity personnel, especially for security purposes?
Okay, come again. Does this mean that?
There is no need for a backend or cybersecurity personnel, especially for security purposes.
Oh, okay. So now that's part of the things I was expecting you to ask, right? So building application this point in time that we're making this video has its limitation, and one of the limitation is that it's only used for prototyping, right? So we can build applications, but just know that those applications are more use this to basically build maybe any backend system, and then maybe get it to like configure the server for you, and then get it to like that. What's wrong with my network? Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can. We can hear you now.
This is quite terrible. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we
Okay,
can hear you now.
okay. Yeah, so we can't do anything backend with this stuff. Majorly, what we are going to be doing is front-end applications that leverage Gemini's models application that we'll be building. Front-end applications that leverage Gemini models. If you don't want to if you don't want to leverage Gemini models, good and fine. But majorly, what we are building here are front-end applications, not I would say you are responsible for like the security of this. So I made mention of like you integrating payments with this. I don't expect you to tell this to generate maybe the APIs that you'll be using for like payments and something like that, right? You are expected to take this code and then try to create the try to leverage the payment gateway or the payment API that you want to, should I say, integrate into this application, right? So it won't do something like that for you, right? So just take note that the limitations are no backend, you are responsible for your security, but the advantages are that we make use of all of Gemini's models, right? So we have this live chat over there, we have the Gemini Flash, right? We have the ability to make use of view and media generation models like that, right?
Yeah. All right. I hope that answers the question, Francis. He has another question. How do I get a project to look up an API? Yeah. I want to believe it's from a prompt
Um,
perspective. Okay.
Let me get the question. It says, how do I get a project?
To look up an API. Okay.
Okay,
I don't know. I think
so
we need
I think it's my video.
Yes, Frank, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So I just said, let me turn off my video for the meantime, because I think that's what's taking up my network. So you're saying, how do you get an existing project to take advantage of maybe Gemini's APIs, right?
Yeah, I believe that's it. Yes.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay. So if you want to do something like that, if you can't see my screen, if you let me get a response if you can see my screen.
Um, not
No,
Can I
yet.
get your
I can't see
We
your
can't
screen.
see anything.
okay? Okay, okay, so basically if you want to leverage Gemini's model into your existing project, oh, I really need you to see my screen. And I think it's because of my network. So
Okay.
you can
We
see my
can see it
screen
now.
now.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
You can see.
Okay, 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 that's great. So if you want to make use of Gemini's model, so if you want to make use of Gemini 2.5 Pro or any of these models that are here, and you want to integrate it into your own project, all you just have to do is come to this code symbol over here, and then it gives you like the how you can like take advantage of it using code. So if you don't want to use this thing, if your project makes use of Python, you can leverage Python. If it's TypeScript, if it's Java or AppScript or any of this, right? But majorly, like for me, I use Flutter most of the times. I usually take advantage of this REST endpoint. I believe this should be called, right? So what I do is this over here is the system instruction. You can see the content, you can see the role. Sorry, this is how the structure of like the input that you'll be giving to this model should be. You can see the generation config and several other ones. And then we get to see if it should use Google search or so on and so forth. But basically, this is the API. So HTTPS, generative language, so and so. Then we specify the model ID. We specify the API, right? And then we specify the Gemini API key. That is your own Gemini API key. So this is basically for chatting, right? Like if you are creating an application that should respond to users' query, maybe for an e-commerce, for like a school like FUTMinna. If maybe new students want to know something about FUTMinna, then they can do it like through chatting. So this is the kind of API that you use. So if your application has to do with like maybe a live chat, right? Like you want that maybe your users um can be able to like have like a conversation, maybe like a call or something. So I can, if my application maybe has to do with like booking hotel rooms for like an organization, maybe like booking.com, and they want me to like integrate like live call into their system, then I'll use Gemini Live. And I just have to come to this code over here, and you can see this is for Python, right? So this is for Python, right? So I just need to copy this code and then put it into my own project. So they have for Python and they have for TypeScript, right? Python and TypeScript. So that's the only two that they support. So you can copy any of this and then you can use it. This audio majorly is used like at backend, like is used in backend systems, right? Not necessarily on the mobile app itself, right? So I believe that's why they only support like Python and then TypeScript, right? So you can copy this and you can make use of that. Then if you are making use of a generation, image generation or audio generation or video generation, right? You can click on any of these. So if I want to use Imagine, there's a code over here. So over here, you can see this is the code I can use. I can just copy this and I'm already making use of Imagine. And this is what they provide. So if like I'm building like a mobile application that is responsible for like image generation, I'll most certainly be using REST. This is core basically, right? So I'll most certainly be using this, right? And for every other type, maybe speech generation or maybe this thing music generation. So let's see, for music generation, it's taking time to taking time to load, but basically you just come over to this part and you get to see the code, right? You get to see the code for like whatever it is that it's trying to render here, right? So I believe that answers your question, right?
All right.
Um,
Yes. Yeah. It does. It does.
oh,
Thank you so much,
oh,
Hazel. There,
okay, that
there's like 3 more questions actually. So I don't know
okay.
if you want to pause now or do you want to take the rest?
So can I just get one more and then I'll move on, because I want to show you the last application. Very amazing, very interesting. Any of you can take it up as a startup idea and use it here.
All right. Okay, so it just says, does the studio create for websites? I think that is it.
Okay, like is it web pages or something like that?
Francis, can you confirm? D Francis. Yes. Web pages.
Sorry, what do you mean? Like for, can I get the question again?
Yeah, it says, does the studio create for web pages? And you asked if it's like for websites rather. I asked if it's like can
Okay, can we prompt it with web design?
With website? Yeah, I think there's this templates.
Yeah. So what we are basically creating here is web applications, right? So currently it only renders like TypeScript and like basically front end applications, right? So if you have like maybe you can tell it that, okay, I would just want to build maybe something with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I have not tried that, right? I have not tried that, but I believe it's actually going to generate the same thing. And then you can tell it that, okay, I have like so design in, okay, you can tell it that, okay, I have so design with HTML. I don't know if you can take this design and you can make it much more better, right? So like I told you earlier on, provide as much, part of the things I told you was provide context. So the more information, valuable information that you are feeding to the AI, the much better it is for it to generate something that it's good. So in prompting, it's not always the most effective prompt is not always the shortest. The most effective prompt is the one that provides enough context for the AI to be able to like provide something reasonable, right? Yeah, so you can do something like that. It would work. All right. I don't know if I answered your question. Okay. All right. And then finally, let's move on to the second application, right? Let's move on to the second application. So we just built one application just using a prompt, and looking at this prompt, I ensured I followed like most of those rules, right? I was specific. There is no, please build a web application. I am sorry, don't do this, or I'm sorry, don't do that, or if you don't mind, can you take this route? No, don't do that, right? Just be specific, go straight to the point. I want you to build a web application. Speak to AI as if you're speaking to like somebody that is that would basically do anything you tell it to do, right? So don't speak to it like it's your friend or something like that. If not, it's not going to actually generate what you want, right? So now let's move on to the second prompt, right? Over here, I'm going to take an existing application and I'm going to see how I can prompt it to basically create something that I want, right? So I'm coming. Okay, sorry. I think I must have changed this. So let me be sure that I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So let's come over here. So I'm going to choose an application that is similar to what I want to do, right? So I want to build something like this. I want to build something like this, right? So now I want to build an application where students can upload their documents, and then the application is basically going to be like a tutor, and it's going to have this ability to like talk to the student one-on-one in a live, should I say, in a like a real-time communication. And it's going to be like teaching the students that, okay, this is the next page of the document. Okay, I'm going to teach you this, and so on and so forth, right? So basically, I upload my document to this application. The application now has like a live discussion with me, teaching me about those documents, asking me questions. If I respond wrongly, it corrects me. If I respond correctly, it's maybe it would clap for me or something like that, right? So over here we have like we have this application over here. This is like a built application, and what this has already been built, sorry. And what this does is you put in your name, you put in like maybe it's an information about you. I like what do I like doing? I like running, right? And then basically what it's going to do is it's going to communicate with you. Yeah, good afternoon. How are you doing? Hello? You're surviving. Um, okay, all right, thank you. So that I'm able to communicate with this stuff, and basically I don't know, should I say, I don't know what exactly his system instructions were, but it seems to be like like an like it has been trained basically to just give like savage response, but right, it has been trained to give like savage response, and I don't want to make use of that, right? So I'm going to paste in my own instructions, right, to this. And what I want is I want this feature of like this chatting feature, right? But then I want that it should be like a teacher. So the teacher is teaching me, and then I'm responding, and it's able to like say, okay, Frank, this your response is correct, this your response is wrong, right? So if you look at my system instruction over here, I'm telling you that without altering the main character and voice functionality. So I still want this its voice, I still want this its feature, right? And I'm telling you, develop a web application called blah 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 that allows users to upload a course document up to so pages. Now you can see me being specific. This simply means that I don't want users uploading maybe some funny kind of document. This is very important when it comes to like building applications. You want to constrain the kind of inputs that you receive, right? So that somebody does not upload virus into your system. So I'm telling you that, okay, I want PDF and doc, right? And then I'm telling you that, okay, engage them in a live tutor-like conversation using the Gemini Live API and Gemini 2.5 Flash Audio. And then I'm saying the AI teaches key concepts from the document, asks follow-up questions, correct incorrect answers, and progresses through the material, making a discussion with a human tutor, right? So you can see how informative I am, right? And then I'm telling you that, okay, for the home page, which is the first screen, provide a file upload input for course documents. And then if you scroll down, I'm telling you that for the next page, which is, so for the live chat interface, generate an image of the tutor based on the topic, right? So let me run this and then let's see. So I hope I'm still within time. All right. So it's basically going to take my system instruction. Basically going to take this prompt, and then it's going to create an application that is similar to this, right? So I want an application that I get to upload my document, and then I'm having like a live conversation, particular AI, right? So why? Because it takes some time, Sha. It takes like 10 minutes or less, right? Thereabout, right? So if Eniola, you made mention that there are still 2 extra questions. If I can answer them now while we're waiting for this.
All right, no problem. The first question is, please, can you use a brand new account to get started on the AI Studio?
Yeah. Yes, that's very true. As long as you have a Google account, right, you have access to all of these features. You have access to AI Studio, you have access to all of Gemini's the different variations of models. So you can create a new
Okay.
Gmail and you are good to go.
All right. Muhammad Abdul Kadri says, please, what is the main duty for the app? I don't know,
What is
Mohammed,
the
maybe you
main?
could specify main duty for the app.
Okay, is it for this current one I'm trying to build or for AI
Um,
Studio?
yeah, I don't know if Mohammed is still on the call so that he can specify what app essentially. But this was sent when we are working on the first app, not necessarily this. That was the AI powered study buddy. I think that was the period of time.
Okay. So the okay. So that application is basically you specify a topic and then you specify a difficulty level, and then the application is going to teach you and then ask you a question. So the section above is where like you can read through, right? And then it asks you a question below. So if you do not get the question correctly, it's going to reduce the difficulty level. So it's going to basically be asking you more simpler questions. But if you get the question correctly, it's going to increase the difficulty level. So it's a good way to actually learn. Maybe you are learning something new, or you are learning something new, right? You can use that to basically learn and then ask yourself questions, and as you continue to progress, it's yeah.
All right. Okay, so I don't know if you have any questions. I think you can type it now or say it now. But for now, that those are all the questions. So does
Yeah,
anybody have
Okay.
any?
can I ask question?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Oh, let's say for instance now I've built an application from with the AI here now, and I want to like test it somewhere else. I want to upload it somewhere else, like Basel, let's say Basel. Oh, I have a domain name that I want to upload it to. How can I like go about and
Yeah, that's very good question, right? Very good. So over here, if you can see my screen clearly, you see that the AI is basically generating different files, right? So over here are the files of this particular thing I'm trying to create here, right? So if you have built your application using AI Studio, you get to see like these are all the files that you can download. So you can download all of these files. You can download all of these files, and then you can upload them on your own custom server, maybe Vercel or Render, right? And then you can it will need like a little bit of tweaking, right, for you to get it done, right? But it's not going to be as difficult as building the application from start, right? So these are where you get all your project files over here. You get all your project files over here.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's all the questions. Yeah.
All right, so our application is ready, right? Is ready. Now, imagine maybe someone gave me like the contract to be able to do something like this. You would see that um if there was no AI, it would take like maybe 2 days thereabout to get something like this, or maybe a day, right? To like a day of like all throughout the day, right? To put up something like this up and running, you understand? And then take note of the fact that there may be errors while we are building that's causing the hold up and so on. But with this AI Studio, if I run this application and maybe it throws an error, AI Studio, there's a way there's an option for me to just fix the error. I don't necessarily have to look into the code. I can just click on fix the error, and the model will basically run this script again, fix the error, and then I get to have a project that basically has no errors inside. So let me choose a file, and I'm just going to choose one of these files, the client attraction secret. Basically teaches you how to attract clients. And then let me just start the lesson and let me see. So so let's start. And then I think my network is misbehaving. Wow, beautiful. All right, so let me just play it and then let's see. Okay. Hello? I think it's actually network. Hello? Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay. Let me
Okay, sorry, Frank, are you still there?
Okay, so in order not to waste much time, right? Because we're running out of time, you can just let me drop the prompt. You can basically take this prompt and then just try to mess around with it in AI Studio.
Yeah. All right, Frank, we have two more questions. Two more questions, yes.
Yep. And then so before I answer any question, let me show you the last application, which so let me just stop this. So if you are done building, you can save, right? You can save the application. And once you save it, you can get the source code later on and then maybe upload it to your own custom custom server, right? So in this case, I'm not going to save this. So let me show you the last application, which is this. And in this application, I actually I would say the course requires a lot of time to understand, to actually grasp what exactly it is the lecturer is saying. And majorly, as we all know it now as engineering students, our run-to place to always find help is usually YouTube videos from like our Indian friends and so on, right? So majorly, we'd spend our time watching videos from these Indian lecturers so that we can be able to understand what the course is actually talking about. And that course was actually control engineering, right? It really gave me like I really needed to put in a lot of time into that course to be able to understand what the lecturer is saying, right? So if you look at this application that has been built already and has been provided like as a template for us, the application says that you can upload a YouTube video here, right? That to like learn from the summarized content, right? So I want to modify this because I find this very interesting. I find this feature very interesting, but I want to make it much more interesting, right? So I want to create an application that leverages this feature, but instead of just giving me like a transcript or a summary of what the YouTube video is, I want it to be giving me questions out of that YouTube video, right? So after I'm done watching like a video, I can come over to this application, paste in the YouTube link, and then I get to see series of questions, and then I can click on the right one, click on the wrong one, and then I keep learning as so on and so forth, right? So very interesting application. I don't think I've seen something like this. I've not think I've seen something like this anywhere, right? So let me just put this in. So I said, without changing the main video processing functionality. So always remember that you must tell the AI to not change the functionality so that it does not remove the ability to paste the link and it gives you like the video thumbnail over here. I don't want it to remove that. I want it to keep that while it improves on my own feature. So I'm telling it, change the final output from games, which is this, to an interactive dashboard featuring a summary of quiz window, right? A summary and a quiz window. So for the first summary video, summary section of this application, I want it to show the main video point with an audio play button, right? It will use speech synthesis to voice over the summary in a pleasant female voice. And then for the quiz window, I want it to that every time I click on generate quiz, it should be able to like give me like a new question, right? And then take note of what I'm telling it. I want it to remove all the current UI and replace it with modern, sleek, and minimalistic dashboard, right? So all of this information I'm providing here is what is going to help this guy to bring out like a beautiful looking application, right? That I can take and I can host, and then people can use it. Students of FUTMinna can use it in their learning. They can use it in when they that they don't really understand and they've watched it on YouTube, yet there is no question to actually test their knowledge. They can use something like this. So let's just run this and let's see what the AI does for us. Yeah, so let's see. So it is redefining the output. And then, like I said, right, like one of the points I mentioned when it came to like prompt engineering was iterate. So whenever you are iterating, always remember that you tell it that it should not change the main feature. Always tell it that so that it doesn't mess up with maybe it removes like maybe your live functionality and does something else, right? So always tell it that it should not change the main functionality, but just be specific on what you want it to actually change. So I am basically talking because I want it to complete. And if there's any question, let me just answer it while this is loading.
All right. So that would be the last question, which is, how does the app prevent misuse of sensitive information? Please, did you get that?
Okay, sorry, I didn't get your question.
Okay, it says from Donald, how does the app prevent misuse of sensitive information?
Okay, so when it comes to like if you are dealing with sensitive data, right, I advise that maybe just like how you saw I uploaded like a document here and then I allowed Gemini API to basically process that. If you're dealing with sensitive data, you may want to like take off all the code from should I say from AI Studio and put it on your own system, right? And then run it there. But when it comes to like sending sensitive data to like Gemini API, I'll tell you Google is responsible for that. And according to them, they say that your data is not being shared. So I do not take responsibility for that. Just know that they said that your data is not being shared, and yeah, your data is not being shared.
All right, that's off the questions for today. Yeah.
Okay, so our application is still building, and application is still building.
Yeah. I hope we are all trying these things. So the prompts are already in the comments section. So it's very simple. Just go in there, go into AI Studio, Google AI Studio, and then also try your luck to what's it called? Create your own prompt as well. Your own specific, very detailed prompts. And let's see what you come up with as well. So this is the thing we have for build with AI, right? It's very hands-on. And the physical session as well that we'll be having on Saturday,
Different
you must
components.
bring your laptop. Sorry, Frank.
Sorry.
Can you
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, can you start? I
Sorry,
don't
I
think
didn't.
we heard you.
Okay. So I'm saying that you get to see that today, in just within 2 hours, we've been able to build 3 applications, and these applications are very much valuable to students, right? Now just think of what you can do with this, with the knowledge basically that you learned today, right? Awesome things, right? You can do basically awesome things. So you can take this knowledge that you have and then maybe focus it on maybe towards like the e-commerce industry, or maybe to building like business applications, to building maybe applications that are used for e-commerce, applications that are used in health industry, right? And you can see how we're able to like very fast, right? So so our application is done. I don't really like the icons that it's using here, right? I don't really like all this. I don't understand why it's auto awesome, right? So one way you can fix this is still go back, tell it this same thing, come over here. Always remember to tell it not to change the issue with, oh no, use better icons and text content. While that is done, while that is still processing, it's requesting for a YouTube video. So I'm just going to go online. I'm going to search for that course, control engineering. One of these courses from electrical that really gave computer engineering students a hard time. So introduction to control systems. Let me just copy the YouTube link. So let me just copy the YouTube link. I'm going to close this. And is it done with my prompt? I'm going to paste this here that I'm going to generate. It says invalid YouTube video. I think there was a problem with that. So let me reopen close tab. So I'm coming. Okay, so we have a perfect link now. So let's go back to here. Let's paste this and then let's generate. So it's taking quite some time, and I want to be within time. So so it's taking quite some time. So let me just share with you the prompt, and then you can use it in AI Studio to build something like this, right? Just try to study the prompts I've been using. You'll notice that it's actually in line with those points I gave you for an effective prompt, right? So let me paste this here. Sorry. So let me just paste this here, right? So if in case, I think this, Eniola, I think Google Meet is not allowing me paste the entire text. It's kind of limiting that, right? So if you want the 3 prompts I used for this video, you can just let me know, and then I'm going to send it to you, right? I'm going to send it to you, right? But if we get to look at this, we see that we now have a summary section, and then we have an interactive quiz section. And in the summary, this is it. We get to see a summary of what this video is. And then in the interactive quiz section, we can generate quiz for this, right? And then we can answer those quiz, right? So basically, let me go back to my slides because I am done. So, all right then. So basically that's it, right? So far, we've been able to cover how you can integrate like Gemini APIs into your existing application. And then another interesting thing we showed was how to build web applications, right? Using Gemini, right? And we built like 3 different applications here. One that allows you to like upload a document, and then you can literally have a live chat with the AI system as regards that particular document. Then another that allows you to have like this kind of you provide a YouTube link, and then it gives you a series of questions from that YouTube link. And then the first one that we built was now the one that allows you to select the topic that you want, the difficulty level, and you're able to get questions based on that topic, and then at that particular difficulty level, right? So you can go on with this, right? Explore it, take advantage of it to build like amazing applications, right? The limitation is actually your creativity, but without that, aside that, you are good to go. All right, then. Thank you so much. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, this is my name. If you want to follow me on X, you can also use this. Thank you so much, and that would be all from me. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh, I like the way you guys are celebrating him.
Thank
Like,
you.
that's really nice. Can we just celebrate him more? Eh? Okay. Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Frank. Hope you can still hear us. Thank you so much. We actually learned a lot actually. And I'm sure some of us were scared on how AI Studio would be, oh, what's this tech thing again? But I believe that he actually broke it down well to us. I want to believe so, right? All right. So in the yes. So in the comment section, can we just say thank you, Mr. Frank? Yes. I want to say thank you, Mr. Frank, because you have tried for us.
Okay, so thank you very much. I don't know if there's any other last question. Aside that, I am good. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, please, can we still hear me? I think my network wanted to give up on me at a point. All right. So thank you so much,
I can hear you.
Mr. Frank. Please, he has shared his LinkedIn and X. So if you can get the link, help us like post it on the comment section. That would also be nice as well. Yeah, so thank you so much. We've actually learned a lot. And I think we just did not was just talk we actually did the thing, right? And so for as many of us who joined in with our laptops, right, I want to believe that we're also able to like build some stuff with AI Studio. So even the physical sessions that will be coming up on Saturday, you would be missing a lot if you don't bring your laptop or steal your neighbor's laptop. Please don't steal anybody's. Please don't steal anybody's PC. I beg. All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Frank. But before I go further, I want to actually recognize some people in our midst. I want to recognize Professor Jimo from the School of Environmental. I don't know if he's still on the call, sir. Is he still on the call? Okay, if he's not, he was with us, fact, from the very beginning. So we just want to appreciate him for being here. Okay, he's still here, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for being here. Yes, thank you so much, sir. That's Professor from School of Environmental, Department of Building. Thank you so much, sir. Also want to celebrate Instig Labs manager, Mr. Michael Obi. Yes, he's still with us. Thank you so much for being here. That's amazing. See, we have portfolios of people. Yeah, we also had, I don't think he's still on the call, Boss Rashid. I don't think he's still on the call, but he was also here with us as well at the point. Okay. All right. I think those are the people that I have that are still on the call. I think I've mentioned them. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. Abraham.
You're forgetting.
That's still on the call. Oh, you already? I know now, boss. Our lead. No, we've celebrated you already. Okay, can we celebrate our lead? If you did not allow us to bring Mr.
I'm
Frank,
just joking, no.
in order to get this premium knowledge. All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Frank. Okay. All right. So thank you all so much, first of all, for joining in. It's not easy. You guys stay with us. You guys are our OG GDG members, like, which is amazing. Like, thank you guys so much. I want to believe you've learned a lot. Mr. Frank just gave us a snippet of what's going to happen in the physical events. And please, if you're in FUTMinna, I want to believe you all know where Mitsida IT Hobby is, right? We still have a caliber of people coming. I'm not going to take too much time now because we've exceeded the time. Yes. Yeah. So, okay, I believe you can see. So we still have people with portfolios, people with Sky. If people are not ready, I'm still saying this thing, but yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Parag. Yes, big men doing big things with AI. So you're still going to learn a lot. Remember, I said that if you have a PC, please come with it, right? We still have should I mention the cloud credits? Can I mention this from now? Okay. So we have cloud credits because I mentioned it's built with AI, right? So we're not just talking. We are actually going to do hands-on building as well. So we have cloud credits ready for everyone present at the events, live at the events. Yes. So yeah, I'm not going to tell you how much it is, but it's in dollars. Yes, it's in dollars. So please be there. It's going to be very promising. It starts by 9 a.m. if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 9 a.m. Bring your PC. Don't steal another person's PC. Please borrow. Please borrow PC. And I'm sure it'll be amazing. Once again, thank you, OG GDG members. You guys have been amazing. Thank you all for staying with us. I've shown you a snippet of the people that will be coming. And please be there because it's going to be far better than this. So thank you so much, Mr. Frank, as well. Because Kai, if I should go deep into it, I want people to stay here. I'm not going to allow you people to leave this call. Thank you so much, Mr. Frank. So get ready for Okay, get ready for Mr. Victor, a cloud engineer, Nuruddin Abdul Malik, which was also one time GDG on campus lead as well. And Mr. Victor too, which is BwAI ICT global champion, yes. And then El Chris Ayo, which is ICP ambassador as well. Different people from different spheres of influence still in this tech thing. And I want to wish us all a very good night. Thank you so much for joining in. There will be refreshments in the physical events. So please, may it not be like as if you will just sit down and you will not invite your friend. Please be there. All right. So, oh wow, yes, item 7 very important. So thank you guys so much. Good night. See you all on Saturday. Please remember to connect with Mr. Frank. All right. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. Yeah. Una no one leave the call. That's amazing.